International School, grade 7D. Today I'm going to talk about wave properties. To describe a wave, you need to know a few of its properties. One property is its wavelength. For a sound wave, the match of how high or low a note sounds. For light waves, it matches the light of the color of a light. Another property is the amplitude, which matches the loudness of a sound wave or brightness for a light wave. The wavelength of a wave. The wavelength of a wave is the distance from one point on the wave to the next identical point on the next wave. For example, the wavelength is the distance between one crest to another crest to the next crest, or the distance between one trough to the next trough. Wavelength is also measured in meters. Example of a wavelength. Wavelength is the distance between one crest to the next crest is called wavelength. Another property is the wave amplitude. Amplitude of a wave is the distance from the central line to the top of crest or the bottom of trough. Example of the wave amplitude is the distance from the rest position to the top of crest or the rest position to the bottom of trough. Wave period. The wave period is the time it takes to complete one cycle. The standard unit for a wave period is in seconds. Example of a wave period. Wave period is the time required to complete one cycle, is the time required to complete one crest to the next crest. The time required for it is the wave period. The wave frequency. The wave frequency of a wave is the number of waves passing a point in certain time. We normally use the time of 1 second, so this gives us frequency, the unit hertz. Since 1 hertz is equal to 1 wave per second. Example of a wave frequency. Wave frequency is 3 waves passing where 1 second equals to 3 hertz. Here we got one wave. It requires 1/3 seconds for one wave, which is the wave period. Wave speed. Wave speed is the speed at which wave travels. A wave speed is related to wavelength, frequency, and period by the equation wave speed equals to frequency times wavelength. The most commonly used wave speed is the speed of visible light, an electromagnetic wave. Summary for our lesson. A wave has a wavelength, an amplitude, frequency, and a period. The wavelength is also the distance from one crest to the next crest, or one trough to the next trough. The amplitude is the maximum height of a wave from the rest position. The frequency is the number of waves per second. The wave period is the time it takes to complete one cycle. The wave speed is the speed at which a wave travels. Here we got questions and answers. First question. The number of waves that passes by in a second is known as the wave's frequency. Another question. The distance between two identical points on adjacent waves is the wave's wavelength. Is the distance between two identical points on adjacent waves is the wavelength. Another questions. Factors that affect wave speed are wavelength and frequency. Another questions. Here we got picture. The wavelength is represented by which letter? The wavelength is represented by letter A, because it's the distance between one crest to the next crest. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoy it. And this video is supervised by Mr. Muhammad Abu Kunaym.